Good afternoon and welcome to week 12 of child psychology. We're pressing on talking about children in the middle of childhood, middle to late childhood, which means basically they're in school. What are we learning in school? How are we learning in school? And next unit, if I can give you a little preview, we're going to be looking at adolescence as part of this class. Really, the dividing line between middle childhood and adolescence is the onset of puberty. So we will address that. What will happen when we hit puberty, or what happened when we hit puberty? What happens when children become adolescents? And so where in the past we've kind of separated these units by age, we will have to separate this next unit by the onset of puberty. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, last week I had you looking at an article and considering the issue of rewards. The question being whether this behavioristic attitude toward children, where we basically are going to manipulate their behavior with the use of rewards for doing behavior that we want them to do, or punishment for doing behavior that we don't want them to do, whether that works, whether it teaches the child to think of the right thing to do, to consider other people, to even be motivated to learn or motivated to pursue their own success in life. I have pretty fair diversity of answers. Most of you seem to take a very positive view of behaviorism, though. Let's see if I can mention. Giovanni, how you said that in your experience, in your history, it seemed to work. Rewards seem to work. So what we're looking at here is what is important. What is the objective? Is the objective do the behavior? Is the objective a grade? If that's the objective, then it would then follow that behavioral manipulation, the use of punishment and rewards would be adequate because it would lead people to pursue the rewards or to try to get away from the punishment, which would then mean that they're doing the behavior or not doing it. Okay. Morgan, I think, Morgan, you made an interesting point about it. This is really setting children up for success in life because that's the way the world works. It's very realistic to expect rewards. You made an interesting point as well, as it depends on who is the person who's handing out the reward or the punishment. And that right there might be the deal breaker, because in some cases, we probably have all been experienced where the person who did the right thing didn't get rewarded and the person who did the wrong thing didn't get punished. In that case, it's not realistic. But by Morgan's point, we would have to look at who is the one dealing out the rewards and the punishment. I think, Terrell, you made an interesting point about what happens with children is basically their motivation becomes not doing the right thing, but their motivation becomes, what do I need to do to get the reward? And I get that a lot in teaching class, how many times have I sat there and heard, what can I do to get an A in this class? Or it doesn't matter how I behave as long as I can do the work and earn an A or whatever. All of that is very disconcerting to somebody who cares about learning. I want my students to learn, and child psychology. What really should matter is whether you get kids and whether you can interact with them. In any case, that leads us to one more shout out I give to William. Excellent point you made, Mr. Spiegel, for the importance of listening to children, getting to know them, and acknowledging who they are. Maybe this is much more important in helping children to learn to do the right things, to give them the time to get to know them, And it just leads me to that one question I always ask when somebody says, well, I'm spanking my kid and it's not working, or I keep rewarding them and they're not doing the right thing. I say, why did they do the wrong thing? Or what are they thinking about when you want them to do the right thing and they're not doing it? You see, it's in here. We act out of here. We don't act out of whether we want some candy. We really act out of here. So wouldn't it be important to get to know what is going on in that kid's mind? Anyway, that's my little reaction to this. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you for considering my question. And as we continue in this unit and pass on to adolescents, it's been great working with you. I hope you have a great week, and take care of yourselves.